who are also watching us live from YouTube and other channels. It's an exciting time, and we thank you for joining. To hit the ground running, we already have our guests. However, it is important we start with the chairman of SAF and, of course, the chairman of Opolo Global. No other person other than Dr. Segun Aino to give us the opening remark.
Thank you very much, Seun Adesanya, and good day to everyone. It's quite a privilege to be speaking at this maiden edition of the Impact Leadership Series, Bridging Generations, Building Legacies, and Inspiring Impact. As we all know, leadership is a very, very important thing in any nation, in any community, in any organization.
Also watching us.
It's very, very important that people with unique experiences, transformational leaders have the opportunity of giving back, of sharing their experiences, not only sharing their experiences with people that are also important. Hello.
We can hear you, sir.
Yeah, because I was hearing some other noise from the background.
Oh, apologies. They were projecting it. They are streaming it. That was where that noise was coming. Apologies.
Okay. So, as I was saying, it's very important to have people with, great leadership experience who have seen it all to share their experience, not only with other leaders, but also aspiring leaders, because we are all leaders in various form and shape. Whether you are a student, union leader, or even in your family, whether you are the leader in your family, or the firstborn of your family, or the president of a country, the same leadership traits ensures that you get the desired result. And we believe that it's a responsibility that we all have, Opolo Global Innovation, Foundation, and indeed, in particular, people that we bringing into this series. And I'm happy that the first person to be on this series is no other than Mr. Lulu Alade Akinyemi, who has led with passion, with impact, a company formerly known as Lafarge PLC, now known as HBM PLC, one of the leading conglomerates, in Nigeria. He will share his experience, leadership experiences, has been able to transform the company and move it forward and position it to where it is today. So we want to thank you very much, Lulu, for accepting to have to share your experience with us, to share your experience with other people who are here and people that may be watch, because the millions that will be reached are not just people that are joining here, but people that will have the opportunity of listening to the recording of this. So the impact will be phenomenal, the reach will be global, and to cut across various generation of people. And I'm sure that a lot of people will learn from your experience, and then we will now have leaders producing more and more leaders and making the society a better place. So I want to thank everyone that has joined this call, and I look forward to learning from this session. And I believe that we will all participate, especially when it comes to the session where we'll be having participants to ask questions or make comments or contribute to the discussion. So thank you very much, and thank you very much, Seun Adesanya, for anchoring this program and for initiating it, and thank Mokuaku, the chairman of the Board of Trustees of Segun Aina Foundation, for taking the initial Your Future Counts program of Segun Aina Foundation, which was heard for many years on radio on weekly basis, now moving it digital. I think that is also progress. So I thank you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. We call him the living legend. We call him a great mentor. So it's a privilege for you to give us that opening remark. The next on the agenda is a welcoming speech by the chairman of Segun Aina Foundation, who also happens to be a director with Opolo Global. And of course, for him to also give us a little bit history of both institutions. Please welcome tonight Sir Nkem Ogbuaku, who is the chairman of Segun Aina Foundation. Sir Nkem.
Thank you very much. And Mr. Seun, I really appreciate this opportunity to speak with the rest of us this evening. It's actually my pleasure on behalf of the Board of Trustees of the Segun Onoh Foundation and the Opolo Global Innovation Limited. We welcome everybody to this inaugural edition of this Impact Leadership Series. Just like you had mentioned earlier on, this is a platform that is built on a simple but powerful conviction, the conviction that the greatest gift one generation can transfer to the next is not wealth, but wisdom. In truth, tonight actually marks the beginning of what we believe will become Africa's most important conversation on leadership. Not just leadership, character, resilience, and legacy. Because through this series, we believe that accomplished leaders will be able to share not only their successes, but also the challenges they have faced over the years, their failures, their what you might call defining moments that have shaped their journeys, so that others may learn, they will grow, and also be able to lead with purpose. So today we are privileged to welcome our special guest, Mr. Lolu Alade Akinyemi, who is a distinguished corporate leader. He has had a remarkable career, and today, just like Mr. Shehu Adesan has said, he is a leader of leaders. He is an example of excellence, an example of integrity, transformational leadership. From Lafarge and up till HBM, he has had a record-breaking performance, and he is leading the future of HBM in a strategic fashion. His journey actually reminds us of that sustainable leadership that can be built on not merely on competence, but on courage, discipline, and commitment to purpose. The fact is that we are very excited today for his leadership, and we are thankful for him to accept our invitation. Mr. Lolu, we really appreciate your willingness to invest your experience in the lives of emerging leaders actually reflects the essence of servant leadership. We really are not honored by your presence and are deeply grateful for your generosity of spirit. To everyone else who is participating with us today, thank you for choosing to spend your evening with us. We encourage you to listen attentively, engage thoughtfully, and also we hope that you will leave inspired to become leaders who will make a lasting difference in your various communities, your organizations, and also across Africa. We thank you very much, and you're very welcome.
Thank you, Saikem. It's a privilege to have you do the welcoming on behalf of Segun Onoh Foundation and Opolo Global. Thank you once again. May I also mention that probably subsequent edition, it might be nice to have interpreter on this call because we have a lot of people joining across the world. More so that Mr. Yemi is of one of the leading Chinese companies in sub-Saharan Africa. So I hope he can also speak the Chinese language so that he can help us to interpret it. Please join me tonight in welcoming to this initial program of Impact Leadership, no other person than the Group Managing Director and CEO of HBM Nigerian PLC, formerly known as Lafarge, no other person than Mr. Lolu Alade Akinyemi. Please, a round of applause, and let's welcome him, give him some emojis, and let's give him a wonderful welcome to this wonderful event.
Thank you, Seun. It's a pleasure. Good evening.
It is nice to have you, sir.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Seun.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. So, Mr. Lolu Alade Akinyemi, like I mentioned, is the Group Managing Director and CEO of HBM Nigerian PLC, formerly known as Lafarge, one of the most profitable stock on Nigerian Stock Exchange and one of the most profitable institutions from Sub-Saharan Africa. He took over the leadership in the last 3 years, and they have achieved tremendous growth that he has now become the pride of Nigeria and, of course, the pride of Africa. In terms of revenue has shot beyond trillion, profit after tax in multiples of billion. Indeed, that success story, it's because we have someone like him who has gone through the ladders and have been able to sustain what leadership is all about. So we're going to go straight to the point and ask some questions, and thereafter give room to our participants who are joining all over the world to also have room to ask the question. So, shall I call you Uncle Lolu or
Lolu is fine. Lolu is fine. Thank you.
Okay, so let's start. And it's good to start on this note. Where did you grow up? And what single childhood experience or person shaping that foundation of your character and, of course, of your career?
Okay, thank you very much for the introduction. Thank you, Dr. Nkem. Thanks to Dr. Aino. Dr. Aino, I've known him for a couple of years. If you don't know, Dr. Aino used to be the chairman of Udua Investment. They have shareholding in HBM, formerly Lafarge, and Dr. Aino has been very, very supportive of the business and has been very supportive of me. So, Dr. Aino, special thanks to you. Thank you for all that you do and the impact that you make. To answer your question, Seun, I would say that, of course, I grew up in Lagos. I was born in Lagos. I would say that I grew up in what I would call a modest environment. My dad, late now, was a banker, and my mom was a matron. In an environment where values matter than possession. My parents, of course, 9 to 5, very hardworking, taught me one just very big lesson that your name, matters than gold and silver. They will say that, that's what they normally say. Is my greatest asset. That's my name. That's one thing that my parents taught to me. And they also taught me that you can't microwave your success. No, you can't. That it comes with hard work. You work hard. You work hard. Obviously, coming from a Christian home, added with faith and grace, because sometimes you work hard, and then what caps it up is grace and faith, and that's what I've been taught. Discipline is also that, because when I was younger, I used to be very playful. My God, I used to be very playful. But my dad did not give up on me. Extra lessons. Giving me examples, and he really encouraged me. Really, really encouraged me that there's no shortcut to hard work. And then the other thing that I really benefited from my parents is humility. That you don't stop learning, because the day you stop learning, or if you're in a position, my dad, was a banker, but I used to watch the way he related with even the cleaners, understanding that the position that, and used to tell us it's stewardship. You know, where you are, it's God's grace, and then you should not get over your head. So this really helps me. And, you know, they also talk about integrity, never compromise on your integrity. And the last thing that I mean, this one is very important, that in anything that you do, be the best. If you're asked to clean a floor or wipe a seat, or just make sure that no one else, you know, can do better than you. So I would say being competitive in a positive way. And all this have helped shaped my my journey as a leader. Whenever I want to make a big decision, these values that I've embraced since childhood has really helped me, shaped my journey.
Interesting. Thank you so much for that.
Yes.
My next question would be that either your parent or your mentor, I'm sure they taught you about money, they taught you about work, they taught you about integrity. What exactly is that lesson beyond what you have said about your parents? What exactly is that lesson that they taught you that has now stick with you to today, and it has become a pillar or one of the pillars of your success?
Many lessons about money, about being frugal, about, my mom will say, don't eat with all your fingers, you know, save for the rainy days. That's what she normally tells me. But, you know, my philosophy about money, that money is I would say that money is a product of value creation. You know, because when you're not creating value and you're chasing money, of course, it won't work. If you are constantly passionate about creating value, and if you pursue excellence consistently, they call it principle of success. Okay, and then obviously, if grace is added to it, money will follow. So that's my belief. You know, don't be overly passionate, because money is a byproduct. Okay, once your focus is on, looking, everything that I do, I'm going to create value. Okay, create value, find solutions, and you are consistent at it. Yes, and money will follow. Money will follow.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Interesting. I was told that for every success, the roots will include the bit of failure. I'm sure you have probably experienced one or two in the past. So tell us your experience. Tell us about a time you failed or you were rejected earlier in your career. How did you manage that experience? And how did you turn it around to become a learning point that becomes sleeping step for you for a greater height?
Thanks. Look, leadership, it's not just bed full of roses. And you can look at the stories of very successful business people, leaders, whether for profit organization, for non-profits. They say you go through school of hard knocks. And the important thing is how you can get up, dust your shoes, and just keep running. I've had many failures, you know, and it can be as simple as opportunity I thought I deserved, you know. So probably you are trusting, you know, believing that you can get this job, or you can get this done, or you can, and it doesn't happen. And, you know, at that time they felt like setback, but in retrospect, looking back, I call them preparation. It's a preparation, because, you know, failure sometimes keeps you humble, because there's a tendency of when you're just, everything just comes in. I'm not saying success is not good, But sometimes success, if it's not managed well, it makes you complacent and it makes you believe in yourself. I'm a Christian, there's a part in the Bible that says, lean not unto your own understanding, but in all your ways, acknowledge him. It's very important. And I've learned, but sometimes this body and all that, when you are, it just sometimes can make you get carried away. And that's why it's so important to surround yourselves with people that will hold you accountable. Don't surround yourself as a leader with sycophants that will tell you what you want to hear. I could remember once when we had, when I was working Coca-Cola, and we had this assessment center. And before that, everybody was like, oh, Lulu, you are good. You're a very good finance person, blah, 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 blah. And then, somehow, things like this, it gradually seeps into your head. And you also thinking, oh, well, I'm a superstar and all that. And then, so I went for the assessment. My God, I failed woefully. It was a disaster. And I ate the humble pie. And, I recalibrated. And I think the key thing is about when you have setback is about what lessons can you learn, and how do you ensure that you recover and don't give up. The key word for me is resilience. Setbacks will come, failures will come. Nobody doesn't go through failure. It's how you take it on. And just know that failure is a journey of success. Okay, failure is not the opposite of success. It is preparation, and as long as you take your learning and you move forward, it's fine. Yeah. But as a leader, if you want to be a leader, be prepared. Okay, be resilient, be strong, and just don't give up. Be stubborn at it. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I know there are a lot of questions to ask, so I will make it very fast.
Okay.
You've talked about when you were growing up, you like to play. I want to term it the way we term our own generation. You've gone through a lot of challenges in life.
Yes.
What is that single biggest turning point in your career? That one decision or one opportunity that changed everything.
Yeah. Look, obviously people will say, oh, when I became the CEO, I was, I thought, oh, it's still going to take me more years. I thought, oh, well, Nigeria is a big market. Probably they would take me to a smaller market to test me because I was green. I was a CFO before I became a CEO. And, there were so many theories on my head. But, when God says you are ready, you are ready. And, in retrospect, you look back, that some of the things that you call setback that you've gone through, actually, it's a way, because it has the helicopter view. It's his own way of preparing you. I've worked in procurement. I'm just like, okay, I'm a finance leader. What am I doing in procurement? Or when there are issues in a particular function, when my boss will tell me, oh, you know what, who's going to volunteer? I say, okay, you know what? Let me volunteer whilst I'm still doing my day job. I remember when I was working at Coca-Cola, when they were looking for people that would help the sales team do activation in Tejo markets, I volunteered. When there were issues in the warehouse, when I was in Coca-Cola Ghana, my boss would say, oh, you know what, we need to fix this. What did I do? I volunteered because I could choose to say, you know what, management have said this one is none of my business. I focus on my function. But some of these things are ways where you don't look at things from the surface. You have to be deeper and just ask yourself, so why is all this happening? So to answer your question, so my turning point is not when I became a CEO. Okay. it was when I would say when I stopped. I think when I stopped chasing position. And I said, you know, promotion, no position, no my title, no, I must be this head of, you know. But for me, when I made the decision that everything I do every day, I'm going to focus on creating value and driving excellence. That in everything that I do, I'm going to make a difference. That I'm going to be excellent. So it can be just do a simple Excel format of financial statements. Do you know what? And this is one of the things that my wife will say, oh wow, Lulu, you work extremely hard. If I have to sleep at 3 a.m. or when I make a commitment to my boss in terms of being reliable, if I have to break the wall, you know, to make that commitment, to honor the commitment I've made, I will do that. So to answer your question, it was my turning point was when I stopped chasing position, title, and all that to say, you know what, in everything that I do, it's excellence. I'm not going to be complacent. I'm going to, you know, start creating value.
Interesting.
Mm.
I won't say because within the last 3 years you've been CEO, but I want to ask, all through your career, has your integrity been tested, and how did you handle it? Especially the markets that you operated.
I can write a book on that one. Look, as a leader, I mean, your integrity gets tested every day. You know, when you compromise on integrity, I mean, look, the easy, you know, there's some decisions that, you know, they say that the easy decision is not the right decision. Okay. If you want to be liked, right, as a leader, if you want to achieve quick results, there daily, you know, you are faced with opportunities to compromise or to compromise on integrity or the values that you stand for. But as a leader, you have to choose the hard part and don't look for instant gratification in terms of, oh, well, you know what? And that's why, so for example, our business in HBM, we talk about sustainability. Sustainability is beyond, oh, well, you know, you decarbonize your operations. It's beyond circular economy and all that you do your business in a way that not just the result, the how, that will sustain your business. I'll give you an example. In HBM Nigeria, we don't give bribes. People will say, no, it's not possible. Oh, no way. Yes, way. I can tell you, I've been in this business now for 12 years. I've been the CEO, and at no instance, you know, don't let anybody tell you that it's not possible. At no instance are we giving bribe. Compliance, we're very passionate about it. You know, in the interim, yes, you pay, yes, there's a cost to it. So, for example, I'll give you another example. When it comes to, you know, like the cement business, for example, is logistics business. We move trucks every day. Okay, and we're very strict in terms of the speed at which our trucks. We monitor. We have GPS. We follow ash brake. We follow things like over speeding, hours of service, and all that. Our speed, so say, you know, if you are traveling, is 50 kilometers, but then you think 50 kilometers, I can do 100 kilometers, I can deliver more trucks, I can do this one. It doesn't make sense. And then even a hours of service, a driver drives for 3 hours or so, mandatorily must rest for 30 minutes. Those practices in the surface looks like it's crazy, right? Know how, but do you know what? We believe it's part of integrity. We owe it to whether our host community, we owe it to our customers, we owe it to Nigeria, that our business has to put others into consideration, that our trucks, they drive safely, right? That we are responsible corporate citizens when it comes to emission, right? That we do all our best to make sure that we preserve our environment, you know. When it comes to even giving back, it's part of, you know, what we have. But you know, there are shortcuts to say, well, I don't care about this, it's about money. No, yes, we're for profit, we're not for profit, but we make money. But how we make money, it's part of integrity. And this is what, you know, you are faced daily with challenges of, oh, let's take the shortcut. But, you know, I'm happy to say that God has helped us, and we are determined that we'll keep it, you know, strict and tidy.
So in a nutshell, no shortcut to sustainable success.
Yes.
If I'm to put it out.
Absolutely.
Awesome. You mentioned the bit of your values.
Yes.
Can you share with us top 3 of your values and why those top 3 are part of your value system?
Yeah, I think, like, you know, top the list for me is integrity, and I think I've given examples, and for any young person starting their career journey, it's also important that you join an organization where you have similar values. Okay, and that's why people struggle. Okay, it's not just about the money. It's about, I mean, because this journey will take you 20, 30 years. So on the top of the list, and at HBM Nigeria, this is our core when it comes to not compromising on integrity. For me, beyond that, for me, it's about humility. It's very important. It's about understanding that your position is a position of stewardship. There are people that are far better than me that can do a better job. So when people say, oh, visionary leader, for me, it is a stewardship. It's grace. You know, I've been given this opportunity. It's a privilege. And, you know, I'm very conscious and I'm very clear, you know, that in all that I do, in how I relate with people, in my decision making, that this value is very key. So I'm going to quote the Bible again. The Bible says, God resists the pride and gives more grace to the humble. It's a real. Okay. For me, it's helped. It's a value that I challenge myself every day. Hoping as part of the value is also being open. It's part of humility, being open to learning, that you can learn from anybody. Okay. This is important. The other one is about excellence. You know, and I've said this in the past, that whatever thing your hands find doing, do it well, excellently. Okay, and that's what I apply every day. So integrity, excellence, humility, and then also building a team where collaboration is upheld. Okay, where diversity of perspective, because this is what drives creativity and innovation. It's not, the answer is not in just one single leader. No, you know, a leader is to manage a great team. You know, there are people in my team that they know more sales than me. They know logistics, they know finance. They, you know, and a leader should be comfortable with that. And a leader's responsibility is to create an enabling environment for people to thrive, not to lord over them and be toxic. Okay, so that's yes. So that's
you have actually given us even more than 3.
Yes,
but we are enjoying it.
Okay. All right.
My next question would be: I've heard that relationship is a currency. What is relationship to you? And have you been faced with a situation where you needed to balance between your relationship and your core value?
Thank you, Sean. That's a very good question. I would say that, how can I put this? I would say that relationships are built long before they are needed. Relationships are built before they are needed. So if I can use this one, it's like building a credit of relationship. You know, because when you now need, when you need that thing, and you say, oh, well, I need to build relationship, it's too late. Relationship is built, and it's very important. Relationship, you know, it's what sustains opportunities, because you never know. You know, and relationship requires investment of time, and it has to be exchange of values. If a relationship is one-sided, it's like you are always giving, and you're not, even between a mentor-mentee situation. A mentee, for example, shouldn't think, oh, well, you know what, I have a mentor, because the mentor will get exhausted. So it has to be both ways. Okay. And what builds relationships is trust. It's consistency. It's about you keeping your words. You being trusted. When you say you do something, you do it. Because when you say you do something, you don't do it, it's broken, and then it takes time to build that relationship. So for business, particularly when you get to the C level in your career, it's not your technical know-how again. It's about, they call it stakeholders management. And stakeholders management is not politics. So, you know, it's about understanding, you know, your stakeholders, and understanding what their priorities are, and positioning yourself without compromise, and exchanging value. But the key word, and I'm to everybody, is that please build your relationship before you need, because somehow one day you will need that, and it has to be exchange of value. Otherwise, the other party will feel exhausted. Okay, Sean.
Awesome. Yes, sir. Thank you so much for that. Our generation of nowadays, and I won't want to call us by the name they call us, but we have some peculiarity, which include a bit of we give up easily, we are not that hardworking, and we have attitude challenges. What would be your advice to young leaders who are finding themselves in a place of responsibility, who are also admiring your success and the success of other of our mentors, who want to, like the scripture you are quoting, the glory of the latter being greater than the former? What would be your advice to us?
I think the first thing I would say is that there's no shortcut to success. Hard work is given. You know, I know today, when you interview the young generation, and some of them say, oh, well, I can only work 2 days in the office. You know, no, it's work-life balance or mental. There's nothing wrong with mental health, because I mean, it's real. But, you know, sometimes I feel that word is overly abused, you know, when everything is, oh, it's that. But hard work, there's no microwave success. Hard work. You can be gifted, you can be talented, but if you don't want to work hard, I'm sorry. And then also what I would say is that character is more important than competence. You know, character is that oil, that fuel that will propel you, you know, that will keep your lights candle burning. Okay. So then the other thing I would say is that please, guys, don't confuse authority with leadership. They are two different things. You don't have to have authority to become a leader. Okay? The buck stops with you. Don't say yes because, or money, you know, one of the words I don't really like is, well, management said, you know, so that's why we can't do it. So please be a leader, whatever position, even if you're a cleaner, you can still be a leader. It's about attitude. It's about mindset. The other thing I would say is that please, at this level, listen more than you speak. Because you need to pay attention and be present. Even for me as a CEO, these are areas, because there's no perfection. It's a continuous improvement. I'm still learning. I still want to learn. There's some gaps that I have. I want to be more present in when I'm engaging people or when I'm in meetings. Because for me, I can, but because of a lot of things, how busy I am, I can switch off easily. First 2-3 minutes when I'm not interested, I just switch off. So I'm saying that please listen more than you speak, because you can gain, a wisdom and knowledge. Please surround yourself with people that will challenge your thinking. Don't be a local champion. Don't have friends that you are always at every point in time, you are the star. No, because that will make you complacent. Surround yourself with people that will challenge you, that will hold you accountable. And whether you're a leader as well, when you have a leadership team, don't be semi-God. No. When people feel something, of course, ultimately, when there are decisions that needs to be made, when you don't disagree, as a leader, you make that decision. But please create that environment where people feel safe psychologically. They can express themselves. They can say, oh, boss, you know what? This is what we think. Of course, respectfully. But when you have leaders, or when you have friends that they cannot, you're like walking on the eggshell, they cannot express their opinion. It becomes so please stay humble. Understand this, that leadership is stewardship. It's a privilege. It's your purpose, right? And it's not that because you are so good that you are, no, it's a gift. And that gift must not be abused. And on a daily basis, just, be self-aware how you relate with people, how you talk to people, respectfully, in a dignified way, knowing that it is grace that has brought you to where you are. So don't let your position or somebody has been promoted just one bit and then you become toxic and you treat people anyhow, or people can't talk to you.
Awesome. Well done. Thank you so much. Quite an interesting moment. I have some series of questions, but I want us to take a short break and allow our sponsor, SAF, Ishegun Aina Foundation, and of course, to highlight their impact. And while you probably couldn't take a water, just stretch the leg. So I will invite the chairman of SAF and director of Opolo within 2-3 minutes that I've been making a channel for startup and the rest.
Can you hear me now?
Very well, sir. Saikem.
All right. So we are spot on when we invited Dr. Lulu. Honestly, so far it's been exciting, and I'm sure we have all learned new things, and I'm sure more is in the offing. So thank you very much. I really appreciate it. All right. So I just want to speak a little about the Opolo Global Innovation Limited. So we have taken the role to birth this impact leadership series, which is an extension of what we do jointly, both Opolo Global Innovation and Ishegun Aina Foundation. We thought that a platform should be created where we advance what we are doing to leaders. Opolo Global Innovation is it's an African innovation enabler. It's an innovation enabler, and we are committed to discovering talents, to transforming ideas into impactful ventures, and also building the next generation of innovators and entrepreneurs. We believe that through innovation and the creation of a virtual system, we will be able to support startups, we'll be able to support researchers and also innovators with various platforms to succeed, whether it's at the level of incubation, whether it's at the level of acceleration of their projects, whether it's at the level of mentorship, capacity building in whatever form, technical advisory, and access to funding and strategic partnerships. We'll be able to help and leverage our global partnerships to support their ventures. We have innovation hubs in 7 universities in Nigeria, across all the geopolitical zones in the country. We also work with research institutions to be able to translate commercially viable products into businesses. We believe that with the innovation hubs that we have across Nigeria, we can also move across the create a more sustainable Pan-African network. Our goal is to continue to sustain an ecosystem that helps drive enterprise, that helps create jobs, and also deliver lasting social and economic impact. So that is just a little about Opolo Global Innovation Limited. The chairman of Opolo Global Innovation Limited is Dr. Segun Aino. He is also on this call. I happen to be chairman of the board of trustees of the Segun Aino Foundation itself. Segun Aino Foundation is a non-profit, communities-based social enterprise focused on supporting the youth through education and scholarships, through youth development, and also economic empowerment. It was founded by Dr. Aino in 1994. So we celebrated 30 years last year. So we are into our 31st year this year. We mostly operate at the grassroots level, leveraging local expertise, creating innovative solutions at that level, and also we form strategic partnerships with larger organizations to address systematic client challenges in Nigeria, especially at the rural area. Our mission is to empower the average Nigerian youth through philanthropic programs that also helps foster self-reliance and productivity. Over the last 30 years plus, Segun Aino Foundation has delivered programs consistently in such a way that they have had measurable impact. And one of those programs actually gave rise to the precursor to what we are doing today. And that was a program that was on OSBC and that reached most parts of Southwest Nigeria and ran for many, many years. And that program, that radio program is called Your Future Counts. So looking ahead, we will continue to expand our reach at the Segun Aino Foundation and also align with global goals that promote sustainability and self-development and self-actualization for our various youths. So that is, we will continue to look for volunteers and partners that will support what we do. So we can always be reached through this same platform, you know. And you're very welcome to this session. And I believe we can go back to the regular programming. Thank you, Sean. Can you hear me? Hello? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Can you hear me now? We can hear you, sir.
Okay. Oh, looks like I went off momentarily.
I think Sean, Sean, are you there?
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
When I ended, looks like you couldn't hear me.
Oh, yes. So I had to use the second profile.
Recording in
progress. Can you hear me
now?
Yes,
So
can hear you.
Perfect. So once again, thank you for our audience joining all over the world and corporate organizations. Opolo Global is doing so much in terms of digital empowerment across Nigeria, in partnership with some institutions who are looking at imparting people. They have tailor-made capacity development for gender sensitivity, inclusiveness, and of course, for those who are vulnerable. So if your organization is looking at impacting the society, I think Opolo Global is the right platform to connect with. And believe you me, it's worth your time, it's worth your impact. Across Nigeria, they've done so well in moving to over 1 million impacts in terms of capacity development. And they've been able to support several startups. Some of them are outside the country, UK, Canada, and of course, Nigeria. I will look forward to relationship with all stakeholders to help to make more impact. Now back to Mr. Alade Akinyemi. Thank you. I hope you're able to stretch your legs. And there are a lot of questions that people are waiting to ask. Just for you to know, we now have over 40 countries represented on this call. No wonder you are a global CEO. So thank you so much for making yourself available. The next question is, if you are to look back on your journey, what will be your most proud achievement? Not in title, but in impact. That's deep.
Yeah, that's deep. You know, when I became, even before I became the CEO, when I assumed, you know, I mean, from the beginning of my career, I've always emphasized that people. I remember my first speech as a CEO, I said my number one priority is about giving a voice to people, that I want people to feel valued. I want people to feel seen. I want to create an environment where there's psychological safety, an enabling environment for people to thrive. You know, you can have all the strategy and all that. The culture within an organization, it's absolutely critical. They say that culture eats strategy for breakfast. So for me, you know, like last week was my birthday, and I was just blown away by my team, what they did. You know, it was very touchy. I was very touched because I saw people that are highly motivated. I see, you know, people that have grown. Look, when I joined the company, or even about 8 years ago, if you look at the ESCO, 95% were expats. 95% were expats, and that didn't necessarily translate to a fantastic position. But when I see Nigerians, talented, driven, passionate, that have drive for success, not just the leadership team, across the organization, it makes me, it's something that I'm very proud of. And people are free, they feel safe. Of course, there's no perfect organization. We're all still work in progress, but the journey we've made and where we are today, and then the organization, the ownership changed about a year ago. We went through different level of, I would call it emotional volatility, if I can use that word. At some point, people were afraid. I mean, fear, it's not as if the fear has gone away, but calm is contagious. When you are in the face of adversity, okay, as a leader, how you project yourself, even when you are facing pressure, you have your fears, you have your sleepless nights, but you come to lead, fantastic people. So I would say my president is I've got a fantastic team that I'm very proud of. I feel very motivated, to work with the organization, work with them, and to chart our course. So it's when I say the development of people, where we were 3-4 years ago and where we are today, it makes me very proud. And it's not just me, it's my leadership team. They're fantastic. The next level in terms of leadership, great. And, this company is going somewhere. Because once people are motivated, when people are engaged, the sky is not the limit.
Yes. Amazing.
Yeah.
I want to ask this question. It's just one of the questions that someone just shared with me. And let me also ask for all our audience on YouTube and of course on Zoom, you could drop your question on the chat. We will collate and probably ask if we have more time. But I want to ask this question. I'm not asking you to expose your trade secrets. How did you do it? Taking Lafarge to become the pride of Nigeria, the pride of Africa, the delight of all investors, and the top cement manufacturing company in sub-Saharan Africa. What exactly did you do? I really want to know.
That's a trick question. For me, is it honestly, and this is not a cliche. Honestly, it's not a cliche. It's the team. There's a book. I'm not sure that this book. I love this book. Good to Great, Jim Collins. And he was talking about certain principles he discussed. He said something around getting the right people on your bus and exiting the toxic people out of your bus, and making sure the right people sit in the right seats in your bus. For me, again, centered on people. Okay, because a leader can't be everywhere, right? It's about understanding the strength of each team member, and making the vision very clear. Because when I became the CEO, we all together as a team, we devised the vision. Building solution company renowned for creating, so we devised it together. It wasn't me. It wasn't like, oh well, the knowledge and the solutions lies on Lulu alone. No. It's a teamwork. So we defined the vision. It was very clear, and the objectives and the priorities were simple. That when you go to the shop floor, everybody understands it. Okay, And the third thing I will say is communicate and be seen. Okay, and be seen. And, you know, a leader, of course, must hold everybody accountable, but a leader must have empathy. Empathy is very, very, very important. That's why they call it emotional intelligence. Okay. I remember when the fuel crisis or the currency, you know, because as a leader, what you could do is to say, well, you know, guys, you know, no, we can't afford it and all that. But because I know what people were going through, and it's also being able to demonstrate that, first of all, you're a human being, right? Because sometimes when you become a leader, when you get to a position, you don't want to relate with the guys on the shop floor. You know, so for me, what did my team, my leadership team, creating that environment, you know, as a CEO, I'm the chief culture officer. I am the role model that people look at how I want people to be treated. People are watching me. And then also boots on the ground as well. You know, and it's also the positive, because when you say a child is bad, of course the child will behave badly. So what you say to people as well is the same people that we had 4 years ago, 5 years ago. It hasn't changed, right? It's about reinforcing the positive things. Yes, I mean, for me, I don't joke with performance. I mean, if I'm not getting the performance, I say my favorite was, oh, this is unacceptable. But at the same time, treat people, make them see the vision that is done jointly, and then make it simple KPIs. And you measure, you have very strong, strict management cycle that you follow. These are KPIs we review every week. We look at our profits. And then Jim Collins says, no, you should know your economic engine. You know, because at the end of the day, we are for profit. It's about making money, you know, of course, responsibly, and just making sure that in the face of distraction, the team is focused. So, good team, communicate well, make the objectives simple, carry people along, and then creating an enabling environment for people to thrive. So there's no secret, you know. If I can answer you, it is about people. And then for me personally, as a Christian, and I'm not apologetic about it, you know, my faith is very important to me. That's what makes me very grounded, very, very grounded. So yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. Thank you so much for that.
Hello, Sean. Hello.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. We know how competitive the market is. We know how competitive the market is and how challenging it could be, especially within this environment. What did you do that took your market share to more than 75% of the market, impacted your revenue, also impacted your engagement with customer, that your product now is the talk of town and the delight of all construction companies in Nigeria? What exactly did you do? This is not a team thing. This is not a trade secret. What did you do specifically?
By the way, Sean, our market share is not 75%. So, you know, but obviously we've gained market share. And then when it comes to one of the things that we focus on is what I call customer centricity. And it's not a word that it's about customers are kings. As a CEO, as a leader in my team, we spend a lot of time with customers. You know, I'm not the leadership team. We're not the leaders that will sit, in the nice comfortable office. And no, we go to all the markets. We do marketers, we see customers. Our customers are loyal. And when you're building loyalty doesn't come by miracle. It comes through intentionality. I spend time with the customers. And when you spend time with these customers, this is where you get ideas. You think they are illiterate, but I'm sorry. These people are brilliant because they know the pulse, they understand the pulse of the market. So that's, for me, that's the first thing. Boot on the ground. I go to the plants, I visit the markets. Wherever the market is, I go. Whether they say is the east, is the, I've traveled wide. And so that when I'm having conversations with the commercial team and all the teams, it's very productive and it's very focused. It's not theoretical. The second thing for me is also about innovation. Okay, because you've got to continue to delight your customers. Okay, it can't be same, otherwise it becomes boring. Okay, you hear companies that will say we're rebranding and all that. So it's about identifying the needs of your customers, even when your customers have not identified those needs. So it's about creating an organization of the future today and understanding the trend, gaining insight into the trends, because you need to know what other people don't know. The future problem that people today have not yet conceived. So for us, we're very proud. We've launched great products. The first ever low carbon cements I would say, even in Africa. Our eco product is something I'm very proud of. So it's now, for me, it's beyond profit. It's also about legacy that we, as Nigerians, as individuals, that we're able to do, and it's doing very well in terms of, because if you look at that, our eco product, it has 30% less carbon consumption. Okay, and greenhouse issue is really big. If you see what the weather is like, that's the first. And then also we launched the water shield products. So for plastering and for, this product, it's an exceptional product. So those new innovation, introduction, ideas, and then also when it comes to convenience, because customers, what do they want? Customers are more sophisticated. They want convenience. Okay, how do you leverage technology to ensure that your customers have an exceptional experience? And that's what's essential. So it's beyond product now. It's about solution. It's about value you're able to offer. So those are these things that we focus on there, Sheon. So yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so probably my prophecy of 75% will soon come to pass.
Amen.
I will send my commission.
Pastor Sheon.
So this last question on this segment is, how is your industry adopting AI, and how do you measure productivity within that sector?
I know you like to talk about AI, Sheon. So I'm not surprised that this question is coming in. Let me state it very clearly that AI is not a nice to have if you want to be relevant, and if you want to remain competitive. You have to embrace AI. Okay, because this is what would define how businesses operate in the future. So the earlier you are compliant as a business, even as an individual, for you to remain employable and be and your skills are relevant, it's something that you have to embrace. So for us, what we've done is that we've raised this level of awareness. We have organized training, for example, for ESCO and for non-ESCO, just to because you hear a lot of ChatGPT, this one, even how is it relevant to us as a business? So we've done that. Within our logistics space, we're doing a lot. We've developed our own version of ChatGPT. We call it Zara. okay, where, because how the AI framework is basically building enough data, and it mines from that data bank, as much information as possible. So we're doing that. And then even when it comes, and what this has helped us is that it's kind of helped us with that decision-making process. Okay. So that valuable time can be used for even more value-added task. So there's some things that you do, the transactions that you do that can be, that whether through machine learning and all that, can be done faster, even within our sales, even within our industrial space as well, when it comes to sensors, so that the surprises that you have are minimized. I mean, this is some of the things that we're working on. They call it plant of the future, where before an equipment breaks down, okay, the sensor you have within the equipment will trigger something to say, you know what, if you don't maintain this equipment. And then for customers as well, the value they see. So it's not just internal, for our customers as well, where we've used AI to, drive their, in terms of whether they reconcile their accounts, their product, how they pay for their product, their statement of accounts, and so on and so forth. Even within our P2P process, using AI, so that we reduce redundant hours and we can focus on what is really value added for our because even when it comes to, one of my team members were working on something on even generating orders. I'm not going to say that so that competition will hear this one is a secret. but just to tell you, and for everybody, this call, AI is here to stay. So you better align, otherwise you'll be relevant in the market. Yes.
Interesting. Someone said recently, and thanks for that feedback. Someone said recently,
We can't hear you.
Can
you hear me now?
Yes, say it. Yeah.
Okay. Someone said that generation before now, majority of them became CEO at the age of 30, 20, thereabout, 26, thereabout. That as they became CEO and they left that position, they started writing rules that is now becoming difficult for the next generation to be able to beat their record. And that is coming as a result of some of the questions we've gathered so far, that most of the values you mentioned, they are good to have, but the environment is now becoming more challenging, that people now start looking for shortcuts because the rungs on the ladder to leadership is becoming increasing on day to day. How do this young generation, despite the challenges that are going on here and there, survive and become a star, a shining light like we are celebrating you today before the world?
I mean, I'm just going to repeat some of the things. Adaptability, which is part of resilience, because what is constant is change. How we do business today, in the next 5, who would have imagined that we'll have something called Groik or ChatGPT or Gemini? Who would have imagined that 5-10 years ago you have, when you go to whether China or the States, where you have driverless taxi? If somebody had told you that 10 years ago, you say you must be smoking something. I think for me, it is about just being open-minded, and as leaders who have been in the C-suite, for me, the way I challenge myself is that make provision for what I call the Gen Zs and create a platform for them, because it's our future. Because if we look at the demography of Nigeria, more than 60% of the population are, I think, below 30 or so. these are our future. These are our future leaders. And if we don't create a room for them, and we've also got to recognize that the way they think completely different from the way we think. Okay, what worked 20 years ago, 30 years ago, would not necessarily work in the next 5, 10 years. So for us in HBM, with our graduate program, management program, these are some of the things that we have in our curriculum, okay, to ensure that these young ones are, they are, they have the mindset and their business ready to face the future challenge. The thing is that the world is a global village. Things will change. The way of doing business in the next 5, 10 years will start. And the key thing is it's about adaptability. That change is constant. So we talk about the macro challenges in Nigeria, FX challenges. FX challenges will not go away. Sometimes the pound sterling appreciates, it depreciates, but you need to build a business that is resilient. Sort of having a playbook that no matter what happens, you have contingency plans that, of course, you can't know it all, but preparation is the key. Preparation is the key. So adaptability, preparation, open-mindedness, and the last thing is curiosity. You've got to be curious. You've got to ask the right questions. You've got to be inquisitive and not just, let's just manage it. It's okay. It's no. It's about being curious. It's about challenging status quo, challenging the assumption, and then just being adaptable. This will make you stand out and be exceptional.
Thank you. Thank you so much for this. Just 2, 3 more questions to go. And how do you relax and how do you recharge?
Yes, I know, right?
Apart from golf.
So, of course, that's the boy. And I'm going to go back to the book, the Good to Great, Jim Collins. Is a good book that we recommend. If you don't have the right people on your boss, you won't relax. That you have to be supervising and that are not right for the organization. I'm very fortunate. We're blessed. I have a great team. There's a lot of things, of course, the objective and the priorities we create, but the level of, when you start micromanaging your direct reports, it becomes an issue. Okay. And a leader, when it comes to, like I said, leadership, it requires compassion, but also accountability. Okay. I don't have any issues with having difficult conversations. I don't joke with performance. I do not joke with performance. I treat people well. I don't shout and all that. But performance, I don't compromise. When I make commitments, I try my best to. So part of, if you want to relax, if you want to make sure that you have a solid team, right? That they will make a commitment and they don't come with excuses. Well, you rained yesterday because, there was a strike. No, they come with solutions. That's the first thing. The other thing for me that gives me a bit of rest is my faith. I find solace in, and it's comforting. Whether it's the scriptures or the word of God, it helps me. And obviously my family, and then of course I cannot golf. Golf, and I'm not selling golf to anybody. I'm telling you what it does to me. It makes you calm down. It teaches you patience. It makes you more present. Okay. And then you're ticking so many boxes. You're the golf course for 4 hours, another one you play 18 hole, So for those who have not played golf before, I hope with these few points of mine, I'm able to convince you beyond reasonable doubt that golf is good for you. Eh?
On one condition, if you can donate your kits.
Yeah, right. No, but honestly, so
Awesome.
that's the way. So that's the way. My advice to people: get the right people on your bus. It's very important. And then for me, it's my faith and the sport, and of course, and then you support the right team as well. Shewo. If you support Arsenal, you will be relaxed. But if you support Man U or some other teams, you won't be relaxed. So please, I will highly recommend support of Arsenal. Okay?
I didn't hear that.
Try it. Try it.
Thank you so much. So just two more questions to go. The second to the last is, if you were not on this career path, what would have been another path that you'll have chosen or you'll have loved to?
I would have said a teacher, but they don't pay teacher very well, because money is good sometimes. I would say probably a leadership coach.
Wow.
Yes, I enjoy coaching. I do. I really do. I enjoy telling my story. Okay, because I believe that the mistakes I've made, nobody else should make it. And for leaders, it's very important to share learnings, regrets, where you've been successful. What I would have said to my younger version, because there's so many people out there that they have, they're talented. They just want somebody to believe in them. Where I am today, somebody believed in me. My family believed in me. My mentors believed in me. And just few words of encouragement. Somebody out there that, that you just want to nudge and just say, yes, you can do it. If I can do it. So that's what we will say. Visionary. Everybody, sometimes you go through phases in your life where you have even doubts. When period of adversity, everybody go, even Jesus and their disciples, they did. Even John the Baptist say, "Are you the one they sent?" Everybody. So don't be human. Don't be superficial. And it's okay to be vulnerable sometimes and just say, yeah.
Interesting. Thank you so much, sir. I wanted to ask, what would be your parting words to our generation? But I think you said that to your younger version. But on the last one,
what do you mean by younger? You consider yourselves a younger generation? Sure.
I'm a Gen Z. Wow, thank you so much. Yes. You've known Dr. Shegun for a while.
Yes.
For decades.
Yes.
Of course, he's also the president of Osun State Development Association, which is the think tank and intellectual body for Osun State. What do you think make him to be outstanding as a respected global leader that our generation can also learn more so from your experience with him?
Yeah. Like I said, Dr. Eno is an inspiration, really, and I mean this sincerely. The fact that we are from the same states, so we're the son of the soil, son of the soil, and then the great work he's doing with the professionals within Osun State. As you know, he used to be the chairman of Odua Investments. And I think, Dr. Eno, at some point you were the president of some technology.
Is FinTech Association of Nigeria.
Now
he's the chairman of the board of trustees.
Yes. And Dr. Shegun is above 70. because on the 70th birthday, Dr. Aino wrote a book, and he's still writing. I mean, when he came to the office, and first, I mean, I just really want to thank Dr. Sheikh. When I was when he was the chairman of Odua, I was a CFO then, but it was the first Odua chairman that came to our office with his team to just come to support us. And then obviously 70th, but the thing I really appreciate about Dr. Aino is his humility and his passion to make impact, knowing that it's beyond him. It's about the legacy. It's about what you leave behind, the legacy you leave behind. And clearly for him, I mean, chatting with him, that he knows his purpose. It's about it. But look at this the Opolo initiative. It's a brilliant and it's a fantastic initiative where, young students across institutions in Nigeria, they're given the various opportunities. Because you could say, well, I'm 70, I'm retired, I've made my money, I live in Parkview. Dr. Shegun, by the way, lives in very nice as in Parkview. I live in Parkview, nothing to worry about. And he just says, you know what, I'm putting my foot down, up, I'm doing nothing. But engaging him, the passion that he has for people and making a difference in the life of people is commendable. So, Dr. Aino, I celebrate you. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to also share my experience. And I wish you all the success. And thank you for thank you for all that you do. And please continue to inspire us, we young ones or younger ones. And thank you very much. Yeah. So that's it.
Awesome. Awesome. So there is a question that was dropped. I want us to quickly attend to that question before I invite Dr. Shegun Aino. The question is from Ayodele Agbola, and he's asking, what is your advice to people that are living abroad and are looking at Nigerian economy? What is the future of the country, and what is the future of HBM as it relates to real estate sector?
Very good question, Ayodele. Very good question. I love my country, Nigeria. I mean, some people have made the decision to japa, not condemning them and all that. I mean, everybody, you have your own path. But what I see, I believe very strongly in the narrative of Nigeria. Nigeria is the most populous Black nation in the world, more than 220. We are, at the moment, in Nigeria, we are consuming more than we produce. So its productivity is a major challenge. And for a country to transition from a consuming country to a highly productive manufacturing is a foundation. If you look at what has happened in Nigeria in the last 3-4 years, there's been a lot of difficult reforms, that is centered on creating stability. Okay, and we're at this junction where the stability must now translate to something tangible, where there'll be more jobs, there'll be more opportunities, markets will be created. In Nigeria, we do not lack entrepreneurs, we do not lack the markets, access to 220 million people, and then within the African Free Trade Zone. Why am I saying this? I'm saying that we're at a critical stage in our economic history that we should take advantage of. I'll speak on the cement industry. As you know, within the cement industry, the use of cement as trajectory has changed. We're not using cement as for concrete roads because it's durable. So Lagos to Calabar, Badagry to Sokoto, and the roads within the east, west, north, and all that. There's so many projects going on because once you open the market, once infrastructure road is good, raw materials, finished goods will be able to move around the country. Why am I saying this? I'm saying that these are the foundation that's been laid for exponential growth in Nigeria. So I would say that, consider, the opportunities, because some people will just say, okay, you know what, I love my country, Nigeria, I'm moving abroad. Sorry, I'm leaving UK or wherever you are. I'm coming to Nigeria and all that. No, a lot of people, they've done that. They've gotten their fingers burnt. I think it has to be done carefully. I believe that the opportunities that we have in Nigeria, it is unbelievable. So do it prayerfully, carefully, look at all your, don't make your decisions, don't make emotional decisions. Let numbers, data drive that decisions that you make. But what I would say is that the opportunity that we have in Nigeria is significant. I mean, for HBM, I mean, this is the industry to be. We're expanding our plant in Shagamu. We're going to commission this in January, February. We're expanding our plant in Ashaka. So we're going to sell more cement. So our capacity is going from 9.5 to 14.5. And there's so many other things that I won't say now, right, that is in the pipeline. Okay, so we're excited about what the business is doing. And then the new ownership, Washim has been operating, has been a building solution company for more than 115 years. They are present in more than 7-8 African countries. They are in Middle East, they are in Asia and all that. So when it comes to equipment mastery, when it comes to technical skills, the exciting thing is that the cement industry can be an incubator for the exponential growth of the manufacturing sector, because things like the skills that we require, it's as simple as welding, fabrication, maintenance, and so on and so forth. So we've keyed into the Nigerian vision, and we are very passionate, partnering whether with regulators, governments, different stakeholders to ensure that we realize this big dream about Nigeria that we love very much. I hope.
Very well, sir.
Your question, yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are joining us from, I want us to please give a round of applause through our emojis to Mr. Lolu Alade Akinyemi. Wherever you are, let him see our celebration. Let him see our love. Thank you so much. We are so grateful. We are really, really impacted with what you have shared with us tonight. You mentioned about Dr. Segun Aina, about the book he wrote. We're also looking forward to that. Probably when he celebrates his 75th birthday, we have another book. This time around, it will be called Impact Leadership. And you'll be part of those who will own a chapter by the grace of God.
Thank you. Thank
you so much. Before I invite Dr. Segun Aina, I want to tell all our audience, if you check the chat box, we've dropped a survey link. So just click the link. It's just for us to have your feedback of the engagement so that we can improve on it. I have a good news to break to every one of us, but we want Dr. Segun Aina to share his comment and his appreciation. Then I will get to tell you the good news. Please help me welcome Dr. Segun Aina.
Thank you very much, Seun, for bringing me back to make these brief remarks. Let me first of all thank Dr. Lolu. I don't know whether I should be calling you Chief now, or Professor. For those you actually shown that you're a master of the game when it comes to leadership and experience sharing, and I'm sure a lot of lives will have been touched and impacted by what you have said. And of course, I'm sure the organizers will share this widely so that more and more people can benefit from the leadership nuggets that you have shared with us today. Name and integrity is very, very important, crucial. Failures, preparation for success, no shortcut to successes, values are very important, and also many things that you have shared here today. And I am sure you have touched so many lives, as I've been saying, as I've said earlier on, and look forward to your further support, your further activities in grooming future leaders, because they say a leader cannot say he has succeeded without successors. And who are successors? They are people that you have brought on. And I like what you said about leadership, where we always think that somebody else is the leader. Each and every one of us should see ourselves as leaders. When something is wrong, we should be part of the solution, not just to complain, oh, our leaders are not doing it. What are we all doing in our own individual right? If you do little things, just like we are doing here today, some other, if 100 other organizations or individuals are doing the same thing, we are contributing to development of the society and of the economy. We don't need to be president or minister or governor before we can say we are leaders. As Lulu has said, we can be leaders without authority, leaders without titles, and it is what we do that shows whether we are leaders or not. And I'm sure nobody would like to be called followers. Let us see each and every of us as leaders and lead in whatever way we find, in whatever situation we find ourselves, so that we can continue to contribute to the development of the society. So thank you very much again, Lulu. Thank you very much, Sean. And thank you very much the audience that have been here listening. And I hope to be able to be part of the subsequent editions that will be coming up here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Lulu Alade Akinyemi. It's a privilege and it's an honor, great honor to have you tonight. We hope in the nearest future, if we need you, you will be available to join us again.
Thank you, Sean. Thank you,
so
Dr.
much. And thanks for our regards to your team and to your organization for great thing that you are doing and making us proud.
Thank you.
Making Osun proud and making Asna proud.
Asna, yes.
Thank you once again. Dear audience, it has been an interesting session. Thank you for joining us tonight. The next on our agenda will be the closing remark and appreciation by the chairman of Segun Aino Foundation and director in Opolo, which is Sir Ikem. But before it comes up, I'm happy to announce to you that the August edition will be awesome. By the special grace of God, we are bringing the CEO, MD of Nigerian Liquefied Natural Gas, Engineer Adeleye Falade. He will be coming for August edition. And guess what? The September edition is already prepared. The October edition is already prepared. And you will be shocked that very soon, even Obama will want to feature on this impact leadership. I'm looking forward to that. I'm your host, Oluwaseun Adesanya, popularly called GS, and it's awesome, it's amazing that I'm having the opportunity and honor to host tonight. So join me in inviting Sir Ikem in giving us our closing remark and appreciation. Sir Ikem.
Sean, thank you so very much. And Dr. Lulu, I am I'm over the moon. I'm really excited. I want to say thank you very, very much. The quite powerful nuggets that you've shared. How we should all have that mindset to succeed in whatever we find our hands to do. How we shouldn't be afraid of failure, and that failure, the opposite of failure, opposite of success. The opposite of failure is not success, but lesson learned. That's very, very key. And that as a leader, we must be ready to learn about people, to learn about processes, and learn about technology. Above all, we should all be prepared and be prepared with humility. How it is that being humble, it's something that we must imbibe and practice every day, because the position that we occupy at any point in time is a privilege. And we must recognize that our life in those positions is all about stewardship. And when as we serve, we must continue to keep our integrity intact. You noted that relationships are built before they are needed. And relationships is what accelerates and sustains opportunities. so many others. Honestly, I am excited. Just like the chairman of Opolo Global Innovations Limited, and also the founder of Shegwana Foundation had mentioned earlier on, that these notes here will be cut down into bits and shared in such a way that participants and new persons will be able to learn a lot from it, from all those nuggets, and they will be shared globally. Honestly, yes, good to great. Yes, I've read that book before, but I think I'll go and dust it and read it again. And thank you for sharing. Your personal values cuts across excellence, integrity, humility, creativity, and innovation. Honestly, I believe that this is important for many others to make those their values and live it out every day. Dr. Lulu, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And we'll continue to wish you very well in what you do. You and your team will continue to excel. Just like Sheung had said, we hope you'll be available when next we will need your presence, your guidance, and your support. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you to all who participated here today. We will be reaching you one and all. Thank you very much.
Thank you once again. It's a privilege, and do have a wonderful evening wherever you are joining us. And we hope to connect again before the end of this season. More so, you could visit all our social media platforms at X, Instagram, which is former Twitter for X, LinkedIn, Facebook, and search for Shegwana Foundation or Opolo Global. And you can connect with us. And of course, I will be willing to support any of your sustainability initiative through our platform. Uncle Lulu, parting words.
Thank you for the privilege to speak. I've also, while speaking, I'm also learning. Okay. And one word I would say is that leadership should not be confused with authority. Okay. Without having authority, you can be a leader. And the other thing I would say is that whatever you go through, any setback, see it as a process. Okay. That failure is not the opposite of success, it's part of the process. And the last thing I would say is that character is revealed through adversity. Okay. So it's the period of setback or adversity that you really know, yourself. When things are smooth, you say, oh, well, I'm this. But during this period of challenge or adversity, that's where you really know, your DNA and what you are made up of. But be adaptable, be resilient. Setback may come, but just look at the end, that all we go well and you continue to learn. That's my parting word. Thank you very much for the opportunity. I'm grateful. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for joining. It's an amazing night, and we hope to connect soon. Good night, everyone. Cheers.